Hey everyone, how's it going? Cell here, and welcome back to episode 3 of the RS3 Ironman. Last episode, we left off with finishing Dragon Slayer after doing a bunch of other quests and checking out Mace Caravan and getting the Armor of Trials, which I forgot since the last time I played. Sets this override every time you equip it. I don't know how to turn that off, and I don't want to always have this override, so maybe I should look into that or just never wear it. Anyways, this is what the summary page left off with last time. 86 quests completed, 132 quest points, 1,015 total, about 1.5 million XP. Nothing too exciting, but we're about a week in 2 days, I believe, since I started playing, so yeah, still making decent progress, I would say. Anyways, most of the rest of the episode will be post-commentary, unfortunately, because my voice is kind of destroyed and I still don't have the most ideal recording set up for live commentary just yet. That being said, hope you guys can enjoy nonetheless, and I'll see you around. I started out with some pretty standard questing, going through a bunch of the older/easier quests, because again, it's typically what I like to do at the beginning of an account. I sped up the clips again to just kind of get through them faster because there are a lot of small clips showing quests that everybody's ever done a couple times over now or seen other people do a couple times over, and they're not particularly exciting. Some of the quests I've only done once or sometimes 0 times, so like this one, Bringing Home the Bacon, has the iconic RuneScape cutscene style of yeah, here's something to avoid the bloodshed part of the quest or dialogue or whatever else. I don't know what I'm getting at there, but I always find it amusing, some of the things they do in quests. Speaking of quests, though, since I just finished the Shadow of Rashdale quest on screen just a moment ago, some of these quests have aged like fine milk, I gotta say. It wasn't until this episode that I started kind of nitpicking a little more and deciding that I didn't really like some of the quests as much. But yeah, absolutely. The Shadow of Rashdale quest kind of tipped me off to the fact that it has absolutely no relevance in the game. Ashdale can be completely removed entirely. Like, I don't know if the tutorial is there anymore since I skip the tutorial when I can. But I know that there's kind of like 3 different tutorial paths now. I think one is you've played before but not in a while, you do Tutorial Island. You've played very recently, you don't do any tutorial. And then I think the third one, you do the new Ashdale tutorial, but it's been so long since I've done that because I've never wanted to again. So I guess I don't really know whether or not that's still a thing in the game, but if you do what I did, you basically get dumped into Berthorpe, and the guy has no relevance. Though I would argue, even if you do the Ashdale tutorial, he still has very little relevance. The guy that takes you over there on the boat, don't even know his name because he's that irrelevant. But yeah, enough harping on that. Also, there are some other quests like A Soul's Bane, which, again, aged terribly and was like half broken when I did it. So, yeah, there's just a bunch of older quests that I think could be pruned for the sake of the game. I think it would be a quality increase for them to be removed. But that's just my opinion. Might make a video on that at some point to discuss that in further depth and facilitate more discussion with other people, but those are my thoughts for now. Apart from the questing, I've also been, like I said, the last couple episodes, sticking with my dailies. What I normally do is, or try to do whenever I can, not every day, but most days I would say, the second tier of Jack of Trades. So I do that once and then reset it with the Premier Club artifact. Do it a second time. I try to do Nemi Forest when I can. That one's a bit iffy though because at least the past couple weeks because I haven't been around later in the game day. But when I can, I do that as well. Good prayer XP for the most part. The farming, mining, and engineering XP isn't as relevant, but pick it up while I'm there, because you might as well. I also keep up with my caches, as you'll see my divination level slowly increase over time. And then beyond that, when I need to AFK something, I've been doing some type of mining or smithing for the most part. So you just saw me get the gem bag from engineering, and I decided it was finally time because I like mining gem rocks so much, and it's kind of a waste if you only have the 28 inventory space available to you. So, nip that in the bud, relatively speaking. I mean, I got to 59 mining, and a good chunk of that was gem rocks, but still. Also been doing a bit of smithing as well, as you'll see a bit later. Oh, here's another one. Three's Company saga was a bit broken in strange ways as well. Other recurring activities I've been doing have been, I do Big Chinchompa very occasionally. I've only done it a couple times at this point because I'm not the biggest fan of it, no puns intended, but it is decent hunter XP. I think it's technically faster to hunt other things based on what I've seen, but I might give those a shot, or I might end up trying to get some skill chompas or something for player-owned farm, because I'm a bit curious about that as well. I've heard you can definitely go extremely dry on it, which would be a pain early on in the account, but, you know, that happens. You win some, you lose some, get lucky, get unlucky. So I've been, alongside my mining and smithing grind, I picked up a few more smithing, and I guess mining also, related quests, because thanks to gemrock mining and a few other things, my smithing has fallen behind my mining a bit, which I think is kind of natural, but I made up for that by doing quests. I've been sticking on the Doric and Boric tasks as well. I think I'm just about finished with those at this point, but that gives you some nice bonus XP that you can put in mining or smithing, so of course I put it into smithing. At this point, I misunderstood what the Evil Days Big Day Out quest rewards were, and I think I alluded to that in the last episode, because I thought that the stews were a guaranteed +2 to +6 boost in the style or the skills that you were drinking the stew for. That apparently isn't true. Apparently it's that when you drink a stew, if it gives you a boost, it's going to boost it by 2 to 6, which is barely an improvement at all, I guess. I think that's like +1 level across the board if you're boosting, but that hardly seems worth it to me, so I'll probably never do that again. But I did boost up to 60 smithing for the orichalcum pickaxe and use that to finish the rest of 60. I do go back for quite a bit of mining and smithing later on, though, as you might see momentarily. Beyond that, I've also been growing a companion pet? That's not what they're called. They're called something else, but the ones with perks, so like they fetch your valuable item that you drop whenever you kill something. And I think that's the most of what people use them for. But it takes a long time to grow them, so I discovered, so I went ahead and kept it out whenever I remembered, and it eventually grew. So that's another point. I think I should also mention that somebody brought up in a comment, I don't remember their name, apologies, in the last episode, that I should be sticking on my daily activities. I've spoken a little bit about how I'm sticking on caches and working on mining and smithing. That is partially/largely for the sake of invention. So you need 80 smithing, crafting, and divination to unlock invention. I've been doing a lot of mining and smithing, so getting my smithing up to work towards that requirement. If I'm not mining ore, then I'm mining gems, which is banking crafting XP for me, and that is working towards that requirement as well. And of course, caches are obscene and a lot of XP daily, so working towards that requirement as well. On top of that, they mention Anachronia. I'll go into this a little bit later, but I have been working on Anachronia. Anachronia? I don't know how to pronounce it. The Land of Time, the base camp. I heard the last time I played that it was good to get into that, so I went ahead and looked into the requirements. There were none, so I went ahead and started that some time ago as well. I don't remember if I had any clips of that, but once again, I'll get into that a little bit later as well. So, I pretty much topped off nearing the end of the episode here at level 70 smithing, and got a few more mining levels from various things beyond that. Like I went back to gem mining a little bit. But yeah, 70 smithing already when I started the episode so low is kind of ludicrous to me. Because, I don't know, I really like the mining and smithing rework. It's my first time experiencing it as much as I have. But, I don't know, I really enjoy it. I like the incremental progress of you build something up and it takes increasing like exponentially more bars to get a minimal benefit out of. It feels like the entire game in a nutshell, basically. And it's one of the reasons I like the game, so it just feels very familiar, so to speak, even though it is a completely new thing to me. So I think they did a fantastic job on that. I know people were, I think, mad it was taking a little while, and it got pushed back, and there was discussion of like shelving it, or there's a lot of controversy around it at the time I remember reading about, but I think it turned out really well, and as a returning player, I definitely enjoyed it a lot. Through my smithing, I've also been building up reputation at the Artisan's Workshop, so I like my first piece of the blacksmithing outfit there as well, which is pretty nice. Each piece is going to be 1%, and then an additional 1% bonus XP when I unlock the final piece, but it is 10,000 XP per 1%, so it'll be quite a while until I get the remaining 2 million XP needed to finish off the outfit, and then past that there are loads of other rewards I can unlock as well. That being said, we are nearing the end of the clips I've prepared, so just about to transition into some live commentary. I'm back now with some live commentary. Like I said, most of the focus towards the end of the episode has been on AFK skilling activities, which came as a bit of a surprise, but the time was right and I had time to essentially AFK a lot of things, so I went ahead and did that. It is currently January 4th, the day this video will go up, and the Christmas event has ended. I thought it could have gone a little bit longer, or at least the wintry stuff, but the last of my Christmas cracker paper is now useless. I did get up to just shy of 65 construction, which is absolutely insane, because I haven't really trained it outside of doing a couple of daily challenges, which don't really count, but yeah, it's pretty obscene to me that I got that high in construction, and hopefully that sets me up nicely for some future activities and some better training methods. But I'll have to see about that once it becomes more relevant for like the Plague Zen requirement. I think you need 75 construction. I've kind of just been assuming so, since you need 75 in so many skills. Also just shy of 75 mining here as well. Not that that's particularly relevant, it's just kind of a byproduct of training smithing and banking gems for crafting. So like I said, wanted to briefly mention the Anachronia base camp here and say that I've been making decent progress here, coming back, checking pretty much whenever. I'm currently up to Tier 2 Town Hall and Storehouse, working on the sleeping quarters, which takes a crazy amount of material, so I'll be coming back to this eventually and upgrading that, and then continuing gathering the other stuff, because some of these I just recently hit the level requirements for. It's like this one, 40 construction, I didn't have originally when I first came here, because I came here pretty early, but now that I've hit 40 construction, Slayer and Hunter, I can build all 3 of these, and then if I absolutely need to, I can always start working on the last 3 tiers of the Town Hall, Storehouse, and Sleeping Quarters, since those require a lot of materials. The last activity the comment mentioned has been one I've been wanting to comment on for a while, and that is player-owned ports. I do have a plan for player-owned ports, I just wasn't very clear about it in the past few episodes. I don't want to do rune crafting, since I don't really like RuneSpan, that much at least, and I've taken that route on previous accounts, getting to a higher rune crafting level through RuneSpan and then unlocking ports like that. To put it into perspective of how many accounts I've created and the fact that I only play them for a short amount of time, I've gotten a 90 rune crafting from a fresh account, I think at least twice, and gone through all these quests and done all this other stuff a bunch of other times as well, so I'd like to try things a little different this time, and I know from my previous account that I like safe cracking, and it's a relatively new thing, so I think I'm going to aim for 90 thieving as my first port skill. I don't have a particular timeline for that. It's sort of just when everything's happened. I know it would be better to unlock ports as soon as possible, but I'm not going to force myself to do it for the sake of, I guess just for the sake of it. Whenever I feel like getting around to it, I will. But I do have some quests that I want to do to get the thieving level up, and then a plan to get to 62. And once I get to 62, it should be pretty much a breeze from there. So, yeah, just wanted to keep everybody posted on that and let everyone know I have a plan for some of the daily activities and time-gated things, because that's pretty big in RS3, to be honest. Not that it's the worst thing in the world, I just wish there was a way to kind of circumvent the time-gating things. Like if there was some way you could pour some increased effort in to sort of accelerate the process, that would be, I think, helpful for the game. Obviously they do it because they want you to log in every day and keep you logging in consistently over time because it's better for their bottom line, but I am definitely an advocate for better consumer friendliness. So with 75 mining, which is apparently required for Plague's End, but we're always going to get it anyways because need it for smithing. I also have a daily challenge to turn in here for crafting runes, which takes me to 47 rune crafting. Pretty much an entire level from that. With that being said, those two levels will finish off the episode. Let's check out the summary here. I believe I started with 86 completed in the quest progression section. I believe this counts mini quests and sub quests as well, because I don't think there are 300 actual quests. So either way, 41 progress worth of quests completion is pretty okay in my books. Also gained about 4 million XP and a bunch of total levels. Most notable skill is probably the mining and smithing pair, as I've been beating on all episode. Also getting high divination and farming, as well as construction, is pretty nice for the point I'm at in the account, just because of the recent Christmas cracker event and the fact that it was so beneficial. That being said, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, feel free to give it a like, leave me a comment, any sort of feedback I'm open to, or tips and tricks. I know it might seem like I know a little bit about what I'm doing, but I assure you that's not the case. I'm open to any and all tips, and definitely appreciate the one I got last episode about some of the dailies and time-gated activities and just general goals to focus on as an Ironman. So yeah, if you feel like seeing more, feel free to subscribe. Always appreciate it. I've been getting a lot of subscriptions lately, and the general support and feedback has been great, so I'd like to thank everyone for that as well. Hope to see you guys next time. Peace.